The goal of this video is to show you some good tips and examples to build your own tower, but before we do so, take a look at some of our favorite skyscrapers, along with the materials that you'll be given to tackle the challenge. Before we get into that stuff though, one thing that you do need to keep in mind is to take this little cup. This needs to be the tallest point of your tower. We'll explain more in the next video, but that's where we're going to be applying a little bit of a load and weighing down your tower when we test it. And as far as tips go, remember, we've talked about triangles before. They're the strongest shape in the world, so it might be smart to try to incorporate those into your design somehow. And take a look at some of these close-ups for how we recommend you might want to use some of your given materials. You can use your clothespins to connect popsicle sticks or as part of your foundation. And simply gluing some sticks together is a great and sturdy option. As far as these notch sticks go, the little holes in them are designed to connect the popsicle sticks and make it easy to turn their direction. Speaking of changing directions, that can be kind of hard, which is why we include these little wood cubes. They give more surface area for the sticks to bond onto. Finally, you by no means have to use the newspaper, but if you roll it up, it does become pretty strong and tall. And finally, although we're not necessarily measuring the weight of your tower, remember, engineers are always trying to do more with less. For example, take these straws, which are much lighter weight and weaker than a wood popsicle stick. See if you can challenge yourself and try to incorporate those lightweight straws into your design and have it perform similarly. We need to make as strong and as sturdy of a base as possible to help support our tower. And there's actually lots of ways to tackle the foundation, so whether you build a rectangular base at the bottom, or stilts to help support the tower on its way up. There's no wrong answer, but we do have one rule for the foundation. It can't go more than 6 inches up the tower. Finally, before building a quick example with you guys, we do have one quick challenge question. Can you pause this video and think, what are some other obstacles that engineers have to keep in mind when designing skyscrapers? Did anybody think of the wind? Believe it or not, it gets really windy towards the top of towers, so engineers need to make them as aerodynamic as possible. Do you think you could do the same and try to prevent yours from blowing over? This white base is where your entire project will take place. It's a 10-inch square, and one of our rules is no part of your tower can go outside of that. We recommend before actually starting to brainstorm and draw out some designs and ideas on that white square. We're actually going to start our project by using that base made out of the notch sticks that we made earlier. Let's tape it down to our foam board base and then begin building up. As you can see, we're building up by connecting lots of popsicle sticks in a straight line, and we're going to do that 4 times. Then we'll go ahead and glue them to our base, and we might need to be patient here as we want to make sure that glue really sets in. At this point though, the tower still seems quite wobbly, so we need to connect some of those pillars. This is where we will try to incorporate triangles in our design as we build a truss structure on the way up. Here's a good, nearly completed picture, and to connect the 2 sides going the other way, we brought out the wooden cube method. You can see how each cube has 2 sticks connected and glued to it, going opposite directions. Finally, we added a few more bells and whistles, but the important part is you have to remember to find a spot for that plastic cup at the top. Thanks a ton, friends. We can't wait to show off your skyscraper to the company that's moving to Sticksville.